Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about using Notion as a client portal, specifically how you can use the landmark editor to build custom client portals very quickly. So we'll be going all the way from creating the new project inside the landmark editor, planning the client portal, building it out, sharing that portal with your clients, and then if you want to, I'll be showing you how you can create a template from that portal that you've just built all inside the landmark editor. Before diving into the build, a quick word on what I mean by client portal and when you might want to use one. So in effect, when I say client portal, I really just mean shared project workspace. And typically this is helpful if you're a consultant, if you're working in an agency, or perhaps you're a freelancer and you're working together with your client on some shared project outcomes. So from the landmark editor dashboard, I'm going to create a new project. This might look different by the time that you get this, but it's as simple as hitting new project. And we're going to imagine that we are creating a client portal for a branding and website design project. Now, if you were creating this for yourself in the editor, you might actually just give it the name of the client, but this will perhaps be the template that we're using later. So you can see the full editor and project has spawned. So I'm going to just quickly sync up this block and menu, and then remove the instructions and circle back once that's ready to go. Okay, so I followed the instructions and now our menu is all synced up in the editor and we can move a little more quickly. So the first step is going to be to quickly plan out the build for this particular client portal. And I'm just going to use this home page here as the place to plan the build. So planning the portal, but I'm just going to quickly put some generic things that I know are going to be useful for the portal to keep track of. So right now we've got a decent starting point, and I think that if we built this, we could progress the project pretty far. So let's just do that quickly, and along the way, maybe I'll have more ideas about what could be included. So I should probably talk through what I'm doing here. When I hit new page, it's going to generate an entirely new page that includes the editor and this particular layout. That's because we've configured a template here, which is called new page, so that every time I hit this button, we can rapidly generate a new page with the editor inside our client portal. So this page is still inside our client portal. Because we've synced up the menu on the left, the page automatically appears in our menu. What I do is I drag this up here just so that that new page button stays wide open for us. So we said we needed a meetings page. So I'm just going to quickly generate the pages that we said would be helpful. And in doing so, or after doing so, I can add the components that we need. So we said meetings, I'm going to rename them here. Projects, we might rename that to stages, we said. I'm going to create a new page for our tasks. So that's going to take me, whenever you spawn a new page, it will automatically take you to that page. So we've got a tasks page now. We said a shared drive. Maybe that's going to be a page for itself. So we can do that now as well. Share drive. And that might be enough just to start adding some components. I'm going to drag these all up into this part of the menu. So meetings. This is quite an easy one. All I need to do is scroll down to the components part of the editor. So this block, everything from new page down, whether you see layouts, components, forecasting, assets. You can think of this as the editor. It's just a little widget that's inside your Notion workspace, and it gives you access to all of these pre-built templates that you can then drag and drop into whatever it is that you're building. So we're building a client portal, and what I said was we would have a meetings component. So if I scroll down and find the meetings components in our editor list, if I just hit that button, it's going to spawn the meetings component that I need. So I can create that, drag it, drop into our meetings page. Shared drive, it's going to be a similar process. Go into the components menu, and I'm going to find the shared drive under operations. So I'm going to hit that. It's going to create a new gallery view for our shared drive. I'm going to drag this all the way to the top here. Now what I'm doing, you've probably noticed, I'm dragging these default blocks which have some dummy information in them already, which is not going to be relevant to you and your client. So what I would do is go through and kind of create the skeleton of this particular portal first, and then I can edit any of these components to be more specific to the particular portal that I'm building. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue building out these main pages. Okay, slight lag in the emoji search, but we got our star that we wanted. And now I'm just going to check what's left on this list. User personas. I think that's always quite helpful if you are working on any kind of branding or marketing project. So let's create a user personas page. And once again, we can go right into this components library and just pull user personas. Create that, drag it in, and we have our little gallery of user personas. So let's give this a little smiley face, or maybe this mustachio. Now, if I look at this list on the portal, I think the main pages have been built. So now it's a matter of going in and cleaning up the components which we would like to share with our client. So tasks. So we have a shared space where the clients and I can take a look at which tasks need to be done. By default, it is sorted so that the status, as you move from left to right, we're going from not started all the way up to complete, and top to bottom is priority. So the most important things are at the top, least important are down the bottom. So if I were to just be setting up this client portal for a new client, the first thing I might say is add all background documents into the portal, or I might even give more instruction as to how to do that and where to put them. And we can also add a property and assign it to our client, but that's not going to be part of the actions board by default. So I could add a few first actions into this board to get started. I might add something that I'm working on. If I'm working on those user personas, maybe I say I've started it. It's not my top priority, but it's something that I'm working on. And this way, again, benefit of the client portal is that both of us can see which tasks are underway and at what stage. So that's good. I think the actions board is fine. Documents, we haven't added anything here, but I think there are a couple of documents that we could add. Now I'm trying to remember if there is a pre-built documents library. There may not be, but we could add the proposal. So you could create a new project proposal object here, and that's just going to be the template. But you could actually drag your live project proposal into this documents page. So I'm just creating a new proposal because I haven't written one because this project doesn't exist. But I could keep that up here. If there were an NDA or a project agreement that was serving as our contract, we could add that. And the other thing that I wanted to add was perhaps an invoices tracker. So in terms of we could even just create a new page for that altogether in case we wanted to stay on top of our invoices. So let's just do that. Invoices tracker. Now let's just do invoices. Give it a little money icon. Flying wings, sure. Drag this up. And what I'm going to do is create an invoices tracker. Hitting the button. It's going to show me a table. Drag this in. And it'll have the status of the particular invoice, and this is not going to be relevant for us because we're not going to be setting up our revenue board. But for now, this is as simple as we need it to be. If I go in, I can hit this new invoice template within, and that's going to generate a simple invoice template, which I could then share as a PDF, or I could attach it as a PDF. So the main thing is just for myself and the client to keep track of the fact that I have sent this this particular one, it's pending, and the client can mark it as paid, just so that we're all on the same page with that. So what else did we have? We had our documents. We could add our documents. We could create a gallery here for documents, but to be honest, if they're quite simple and plain, we can just have a list of documents. Competitors. So this would be a space where I could be putting in my competitor research, and again, the client could take a look at this. They could also add, so maybe one of the first tasks for this branding project would be to just simply ask the client, who do you see as your top competitors? Maybe they just fill in the name and the website, and we can go ahead and do some further research from there. So that would be our competitors table. We might update it to meet the particular client project, but for now we could use the default properties in there. Mood board we've already talked about. That seems to be fine. User personas. So again, this is our default database with 3 dummy personas in here. So these are empty by default except for the image. So you could remove the image, add the details about your personas in here. And again, once ready, you could let the client know that the personas are ready for review by going to our shared drive. You could do it here, or you could always create a task, which is just say, review the user personas. Invoices we've just created. And now I guess the only thing to do is perhaps get rid of this plan and maybe make a bit of a home dashboard. So what I typically like to do with home dashboards is just summarize the most important info. So for this particular case, this is a client portal. And so we might just want to have a little word at the top welcoming our new client, because the next step is going to be to share it with them. So let's just say welcome to our project portal. In the left menu, you'll find our list of pages and workspaces, and you might give some more personality and more details into this welcome message. So I might have that. And then I might just go into linking a few more instances of these projects that we're working on. So because we have edited our project stages, I could just do a linked database and re-add, set up that timeline view again, set up how I had it, or I can go back to the components list, and if I hit our projects view, it's going to give me the same component, except because it is a linked instance, it's going to have all of the work that we've done in this one as well. So I have my no areas. That's why, because content is not a relevant area. But anyway, so you can see that this is our this is the same as we have here, because all of our components in the editor are linked instances of the same database. So if I'm building out my home dashboard, maybe I just want to give them a very instant overview of the stages of the project. Maybe I want to add a version of the actions board that is filtered. So maybe I would go and create another actions board, and I would drag that in once it's loaded. And I might just do something simple like top priority actions. And I might filter it. I might add one more filter, which is simply to show only where the priority is highest priority. And so that's going to only show tasks that are top priority. And I might actually change this on the back end for you guys. But since these groups are taking up some space, you can always get rid of that by going into the settings, go to subgroup, and you can do hide empty groups. So I might just do that to give a very focused view of the top priority tasks for our client portal home dashboard. Anything else that would be helpful? Maybe actually a meetings component would be nice, just to remind ourselves. And just because we're at the end of this video, I will show you how you could create a 2-column layout within this dashboard, even though that's not typically easy to do inside of Notion. I'm going, once it's already stacked one across, so I'm going to hit 2-column. That's going to take me to this page, which is not really what I need, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to drag this 2-column element here. I'm going to right click. I'm going to turn it into text. And now we have 2 columns within a single column, which for those of you who are already familiar with trying to build workspaces in Notion will know that that's not typically the easiest thing to do. So what I wanted to do with these columns, so if you were creating these columns from scratch, you can use the callouts and you can have that space. I'm not actually going to use this space because I already have 2 pre-built components that I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this meetings one here in this second column, and I'm going to drag this this priority actions over here, and then I'm probably just going to delete these 2 like so. So now we have, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I just wanted to show you guys the 2-column layout. So now our home dashboard looks like this. We would have a quick overview of our project stages. We have our top priority tasks. We might make these even smaller. No, that's the smallest they can go. Oh well, that's fine. We have our calendar, so I know that I have a meeting coming up now, and if I don't want the calendar view, I can always just go to the full view of meetings here. So that is about it, I think, in terms of our client portal. We've got all of these workspaces set up and built. I will do more. I'll do more videos covering the map and the actual editor itself, but in this one, we're really just focused on building out the client portal itself. And I think if we were in a stage where we're ready to share this with the client, then the next step is to do exactly that. And so if I just share this particular page with my client from going up here, I would type their email into this box. I would choose from the list who it is that I'm sharing with, invite them to it. I don't need to share to web. I don't need to make it publicly accessible. I just need to invite my client into the workspace, probably as a guest. And they'll only have access to this, so you don't need to worry about them having access to all of your other client projects, but they'll have access to everything downstream of this particular page, which includes the meetings, the shared drive, everything in here. So at the top, I believe I said I will give you some guidance on how to create a portal template out of the portal that we just created and add it into your editor environment. I'm going to actually follow up with another video covering that because it will involve a little bit more explaining and it's not entirely relevant to this particular video. So stay tuned for that, and I hope otherwise you found it useful. If you have any questions, do leave a comment letting me know. Let me know what you'd like to see me build next, or if you just have any general questions about the editor, then do leave a comment and I'll be happy to hear from you. So happy building and see you in the next video.